Happy Valentine's Day month. Listen, if you're like me, I want to share the love all through February, and there's no better time to show the love for chiropractic than this month. So, we're going to talk you through some of the cutting edge pieces that current research for your practice will bring. And that is where I think we as a whole profession will be able to grow, expand, and increase the passion for what we do because when the patients know the benefits they get with chiropractic care, it can only go up from there. So, as we jump into today's presentation, I want you to remember one thing. We're going to be growing together, and with growth comes prosperity. I want you to recognize that we're in it together and that what I do with you is a moment for us to reflect on the progress that we make on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. So let's jump into keeping on the cutting edge with current research for your practice. And as we move through, I want you to recognize that grace is what brings us the benefits in our practice. And it's through the grace of these sponsors that we're able to do what the foundation can do on a global level now. So I want to thank ChiroSecure. It's always the people that you meet. And there's a Dr. Alan Weinstein out there that has been so gracious to the foundation through ChiroSecure. We always give him a shout out. Now, first research project that I want to bring up today. There's a reason I bring these 4 studies up because they're so imperative to today's world. The first one, this one was sponsored by NCMIC, and it's called Spinal Pain, Chronic Health Conditions and Health Behaviors. We have some fabulous researchers on here like Bart Green, Scott Haldeman, and Katie DeLuca. They're just amazing in and of itself. But when they do these studies, what the outcome is and how that outcome is portrayed is the crucial part. So you're the crucial part. If you get this information out to our communities are better prepared to make better choices. So what did this particular study come out with? 2-year national health interview study. It's amazing what you can find when you put good people in great opportunities for research because spinal pain and chronic health conditions are highly prevalent. And as you know, the World Health Organization has noted that low back pain is, in fact, the number 1 years lived with disability globally. So we want to recognize what we do for a living is we help people through these very difficult, burdensome, costly conditions. But when they did this multinomial logistic regression model, what did they actually find? 4 chronic health conditions significantly increase the prevalence and odds of spinal pain. So, looking at cardiovascular conditions, which were up by 58%, hypertension, 40% chance of spinal pain. If you had diabetes, you had a 25% increased chance of low back pain. And of course, obesity. These were all the confounders. And that research is great, but how do we get it out to our community? And that's why I wanted to bring to your attention that we have infographics at the foundation. And this one particularly took all of that information and brought it down to the consumer level. The National Health Interview Survey. And what were the results? Chronic health conditions significantly increase the prevalence and odds of spinal pain. Now, when your patient knows better, they can do better. So why are these findings so important? Because it shows that the prevention and treatment of the non-musculoskeletal conditions with approaches of spinal pain management are one piece of the puzzle. So you think about obesity and diabetes, you know how closely they're interlinked, especially when we think about the type 2 diabetes that is rampant now after COVID. How does that impact the body's biomechanics? Well, you as a chiropractor know this every single day. But does your patient understand what obesity does to their body? Increasing their risk for diabetes, increasing their risk for hypertension, and obviously having a massive impact on their cardiovascular system. So, my good friends, this research is all there for you to explain and extrapolate so your patients understand why you're such a vital force in their life. Let's go to number 2. This is the bidirectional comorbid association between back pain and major depression in the United States. Again, the study was done just about this time last year. And when it came out, it again pointing out some of our fabulous researchers, Dr. Yang, Dr. Green, Dr. DeLuca, and Dr. Haldeman. These are important studies because now we're going into another very serious impact across the globe, which is depression. And so when you see there's a bidirectional association between low back pain and the chronic conditions that impact our world and then go into depression, it's very, very important that you talk to your patients about these things. So look at the results that you can share as an infographic that will share why depression and back pain are linked. And when you see these results, the prevalence of major depression for those with back pain was almost 20%. And then the prevalence of back pain with those with major depression was almost a 40%. These results matter. And if you have major depression, your chance of getting low back pain is quite high, and vice versa. So let's work with our patients, especially when it comes to chronic pain. And this isn't the next research study that I want to bring to your attention. This will be published in Pain March 1st, 2024. So yes, my friends, it is not March, and you are now going to be in the inner sanctum of being able to be on the cutting edge. Della Rosa, she, of course, should be recognized. And some of these researchers that really bring the importance of health in the chronic conditions, I want you to recognize that the co-occurrence of chronic pain and anxiety and depression in the United States, it needs to be brought forward. And when you look at this particular study, approximately 12 million US adults, almost 5% of adult population, have co-occurring chronic pain. That's significant. And when we start looking at what are the outcomes for this type of chronic pain, it means that we have to stop and think, how are we talking to our patients with chronic pain, and what advice are we giving them? Because they're a whole person. They're not just the area that's being treated that may or may not be working appropriately. But when we get down to being able to maximize these studies and share with the patients, it makes a big difference. This one was Spine Journal last year, May 2023. The benefits and harms of treatment for chronic nonspecific low back pain without radiculopathy. This particular study, the purpose was to compare the benefits and harms of treatments for the management of chronic low back pain. And as you saw in the last slide, these opportunities to share what works and what's important is critical. So what did they find in this? Spinal manipulation provided safer benefits than pharmacological or invasive interventions. The harm ratings for opioids and surgery was significant, and they want to do more research. But listen, doctors of chiropractic, you know this. You know that opioids are not and should not ever be a first line approach. And continuing to have these conversations in our community with other healthcare providers to talk about what is out there and what patients are using to treat their low back pain, NSAIDs, opiates, steroid injections, surgical procedures. We need to have these conversations across the nation on what in fact is and should be best practices. And how you share that is like this in the infographics. This one is a letter that came out and just over 3 weeks ago through the JAMA Open Network. It was published online on the 25th of January, and the title is The Use of Complementary Health Approaches and Overall for Pain Management by U.S. Adults. Now, one piece of this particular study was within this study, we had an increase in chiropractic care from 19% in 2002 to 36.7 of the other complementary health approaches. That should make you smile, but don't stop there. Help me get it higher. Listen, one of the pieces in this letter also noted that Patients are using preventative measures to help themselves be better. You want to know one of those complementary health approaches? The number one was meditation. The number two was yoga. The number three was chiropractic. And I honestly think, and I hope you do too, that it should be chiropractic first, because if you're balanced, if you're well aligned, doesn't your meditation go better? Doesn't your yoga go better? So let's push our information to get people to utilize chiropractic for prevention so that they can do meditation and yoga as a in-house service to themselves. This was the result, and it's always nice to put these types of research pieces out there, that complementary health is one piece of their overall well-being, and that chiropractic care can be part of that in its utilization that will help the patient and create a healthcare regime that really works for them, with them, and it's all about them. That's what the patient-centered or people-centered approach is. That biopsychosocial model that we talk about in a global perspective comes down to that one individual who's sitting on your table. And that one individual sitting on your table may in fact have low back pain. And we did a Harris poll, and we wanted to find out more about what is the utilization in the Harris poll for 54 and younger. 87% of the people that responded to our Harris poll were experiencing low back pain. So this is the, like, right now, these are the people we want to hear from. And 28% of them are choosing a natural approach, a drug-free approach, such as chiropractic care, to manage their low back pain. That number needs to go way up. And that's why I think it's so important that we recognize where we are right now. Where we are right now is we're not treating the vast majority, and we should be, for all low back pain, because patients need to understand we should be the first approach. Moving forward, if you want more about chiropractic, a safe and cost-effective approach to health, and all the latest research, well, we've got you at the Foundation for Chiropractic Progress. We know that the evidence speaks for itself, and this particular file is easy to share with the healthcare providers in your community so that you can say chiropractic is a choice, and I'd like to be that choice for a patient, for prevention and for treatment of acute and chronic injuries. And now we're going to get to the exciting part. What is F4CP doing with you and for you? Let's start with the first time ever in history. Last month, we had a chiropractor on the Today Show. Now, one would say, that's no big deal because we've had other people on there. Oh no, we have never actually had anyone introduced as a chiropractor on the Today Show. So the foundation was really happy to be backstage and being able to monitor and maximize the media on this. And Dr. Alessandra Colon did a fantastic job. It was a proud moment for all of us to be there and be able to share what are the facts versus the myths. What are some of the common questions that were being asked? And then what did Dr. Alessandra Colon need to do to ensure that patients across the nation, in fact, understand and are able to make a strong, solid choice to help them in their healthcare regime? So we then followed it up. If you haven't seen this segment, please do look at it. I think it's a lot of fun. The purpose to doing these types of things is to maximize the media. The more people that go to the Today Show, the more people that are going to be looking to find out more about chiropractic. And we did a special for you. It's called Myth versus Fact. You can open this up. You can put this on your webpage. You can print it out and put it in a little plastic file holder and put it in your office. You can promote the Today Show piece. It's all about us getting out there in the main media and sharing what we know. And when we get to social media, we need to do it right. And that's why the new rules for social media marketing for chiropractors is an ebook that you can enjoy. The algorithms have changed this year. The ability to do best practices have changed. Are you keeping up with the changes? Well, I can tell you the Foundation for Chiropractic Progress is, and we want you to do best practices. We don't want to put your office at risk, and we want to maximize our search engine optimization words. So help us help you. How do we do that? Well, if you're a member, yes, we have you. New member presentation is now online for you to download, and it will help you actually maximize your membership, whether it's designing an ad, advertising, printing, marketing, using utilization of your website. We have it all for you there. We also want to make sure that you know we use the Find a Doctor directory, especially when we have these national events like the Today Show. So we want you with us, and we want to be together as a united front to share the benefits of chiropractic. And you will see leveraging your membership to market your practice video as well. But listen, if you're not a member, then today is the day. Yes, we brought up the Today Show. So this is your Today Show. Let's get you to f4cp.org/package. Don't wait. Don't put anything else in the way. Put this as the top of your checkbox that you need to check off before the end of the day. We want you to become a new member and maximize and utilize this particular social media marketing for chiropractors. We need you to do best practices, and now's the difference. How do we help our patients stay informed, stay on the cutting edge? Well, my good friends, Adjusted Reality podcast series, Trusted by the Adjusted, is there for you to listen to. I want you to share it with your staff and have your staff share it with their family. But most importantly, share it with every patient that comes in. Listen, I was blown away by Dr. Bruce Lipton, and he is just an amazing individual. If you don't know who I'm talking about an internationally recognized leader. He bridges science and spirit. He's a stem cell biologist. He's a best-selling author of The Biology of Belief. And he's actually one of few of the Goy Peace Award recipients. So he is a magnificent individual. And boy, did he knock this Transform Your Biology Through Belief podcast out of the park. We've had just amazing outcomes with him. But don't stop there. This one actually blew me away. So I had the luxury of having Dr. Michelle Mays. She's finishing up her PhD in the very near future, so I'm going to give her the title doctor. But she is a certified sex addiction therapist. Now, one would say, as you're listening to this right now, what does that have to do with chiropractic? Oh, my dear friends, you have to listen. It blew me away. It's one of our highest ranking podcasts to date. So, if you want to know more about our friend, the professional counselor, supervisor in Virginia and Washington, D.C., and her book, which is phenomenal, the book is called The Betrayal Bind: How to Heal When the Person You Love the Most Hurts You the Worst, and how that relates to chiropractic. Oh, it is a fun journey. Do not miss it. Next up, I want to share with you one piece that there's our friend Bruce Lipton. There's short reels on Instagram. If you want to pop in and become a follower of our Instagram, please do. There's lots of short reels that you can share on your social media. It's just fun. You bring 10 seconds of information so people will then join our Adjusted Reality podcast. But the one piece I want you to recognize is through the February marketing roadmap, we make it simple for you to be able to utilize infographics, social media cover photos, what's happening in your practice reception area. Did you look at your walls lately? Yes, your walls. They speak to the patient. And when you juice up your walls and you make them fresh and new information's on there, people pay attention. If they're coming in once a week or once a month for maintenance and there's a new poster or a new graphic design up there, they're paying attention and they know that you're on the cutting edge. And that is one of the pieces that the foundation prides itself. And that's why I want to share with you our impact report. I'm happy to say it's February and we're now at almost 37,000 members. In 2023, we were at 35,000. We had 5 new advertising and marketing awards won. Now, why are awards important? You need to be able to compare yourself to those that are doing more with more money, more resources, and more talent. So listen, we won awards where we didn't have $35 billion. And that to me means everything. So I want you to see these awards as us in comparison with others of high quality and high talent. Industry articles published last year, 100. Are we busy? Just, I think, almost a tad bit as busy as you. And that's why you join me on a monthly basis on ChiroSecure. What about the readers we reached? 535 million readers. Are we working for you? I hope you see this impact report that we are on CNN with our commercials, ESPN, and Fox Sport as us working for you and with you. And how do we inspire you for 2024? Well, come on the journey with us. We're going to reach 100 million patients with our 3 new commercials, and we're launching them during major championship events, golf, pickleball, and yes, rodeo, which surprises a lot of people. But let me tell you, this rodeo thing is pretty amazing when I start listening to how people are reflecting on the impact that someone who is riding a bareback horse is giving. And they say it's one of the hardest professional moments in all of sports, and that the chiropractor that is treating these cowboys and cowgirls is treating one of the hardest and most aggressive impact on the human frame there is. And it far exceeds, believe it or not, the G forces that happen if you were a fighter pilot or in the Formula One. Think about that. That's pretty epic. So don't miss any one of these 3 commercials. We're bringing you with us. And speaking of with us, now, if you're going to be going to Parker in a few days, we want you to stop by our booth. We're number 3. I hope in your heart we're number 1, but we're number 3 at Parker. Find out, in fact, how to enter yourself into our pickleball set. If you've not played pickleball, well, change it up a little bit. It's all about showing up. The person you become in the next 5 years is by the books you read. And I tell you, Adjusted Reality will bring some very, very important books to your life. It's about the people you meet. I've been dearly touched by the late legacy of our lost and different important moments that have happened in life. And I want to remind everyone that people come into our life for a reason. I deeply was touched by some leaders that have now moved on to the other world, and I'm grateful for the footprint they left in my life. And I know you're out there listening, and I'm sure you've lost some loved ones as well. And I want you to reflect on that. Be the person that they were for you, for someone else. It's about the people you meet, the books you read, and the places you will go. And Parker is one of them. So I want to thank each and every one of you. I hope that we'll be able to see you on the road. I know the time is now to join the foundation. If you feel so inspired and you love chiropractic as much as I do, then Valentine's month is the day to give back to your Valentine. I would love to be your Valentine. The Foundation for Chiropractic Progress loves the benefits of chiropractic care, and it in fact wants to spread it globally. So if you feel the desire today, donate. f4cp.org/donate. $5, $10, $15 helps us get closer to being able to maximize our 3 commercials, place them, and continue to do the work that we're doing. I hope that this month is fantastic for you, and I look forward to seeing you back in March.
Isn't it time you join the most powerful team of successful doctors in chiropractic and go for the gold? Simply go to www.f4cp.org/package and get your customized practice success solution.